Welcome everyone to In Our Truck Night in America. We are live from Pikes Peak International Raceway for the Great Wolf Lodge 300 and Race 11 of the Gainbridge Truck Series. After 2 weeks overseas, we are finally back stateside for our fourth short track of the season and the second race of the in-season tournament. As always, I'm Charlie Davenport in the booth, but today I'm joined by none other than NS Racing owner and former driver Nathan Stapleton. Nathan, there's no better week to be in the booth than this one. I'm not sure if it's the jet lag from the past few weeks, but we've had a chaotic lead up to this race all week. Plus, you have three drivers in the hunt for the chase. How do you feel coming into this one?
Well, thanks for having me here at Pikes Peak. I love this racetrack on and on. And like you said, I don't know if it's a little bit of these guys being a little bit jet lagged, but it's a very wacky qualifying order here today for Pikes Peak, and I'm very much looking forward to it. Kind of a multi-coupe racetrack, kind of the inside lane dominant, but the second lane can defend, and it's going to be a fun one. It's kind of like Phoenix, where it's a hybrid short track. It is a mile long, but it races a lot like a short track. So I'm looking forward to how these trucks go around here.
Indeed, this track is quite similar to what we've seen already this season with Iowa, just being on that mile margin and kind of being very high speed, but kind of slow at the same time. And tonight's this afternoon, it's not very hot. It's 63 degrees, so it's a much cooler racetrack. So it's going to give these guys opportunities to make some moves. But like you said, lots of grooves to work with. The fuel window is laps 37 through 40 here this evening, so it'll be interesting to see how these drivers attack that. So far, Angel Gutierrez is on pole here this evening. Gutierrez had a pretty solid finish at Fuji last week, but on his outside, he is joined by Ricky LaFleur. And Nathan, I know you've been watching a little bit. I know you're a team owner yourself. You've been doing very well for Ford, but your Ford teammates, Red Bull Fallout and Racing Motorsports, led by Aaron Abel, those two have been going at it all season. How do you feel having to try to keep up with Racing Motorsports and Red Bull Fallout so far?
Well, I'm not surprised that we have to go up against these two teams of Red Bull Fallout and, of course, Racing Motorsports. I know a lot about Racing Motorsports and Aaron Abel, and I'm not surprised whatsoever about that team being as dominant as they are, and same can be said with Alexander as the team of over there. It's been solid for us, but it's definitely going to be interesting of how this all plays out with the Racing Motorsports trucks on the top three positions, and we gotta see if anyone can stop these Fords, because it's been a lot of Fords up here this season, but we gotta see if someone can beat them.
Yeah, indeed, and it has been a lot of Fords as of recently. I mean, like you said, Red Bull Fallout. Racing Motorsports does occupy the top three positions, but with some struggling weeks, is going to be something to look for as we go into the standings a little bit later. Looking at the progress of some guys so far, as they're starting to close in a little bit on Gutierrez. But with no further ado, folks, let's head down trackside and go over all the things we need to know heading in to this afternoon's race. So as I welcome you guys trackside here at Pikes Peak International Raceway, before we get into the point standings here this evening, we're going to look over your in-season tournament bracket so far. Last week was a pretty hectic one, Nathan. We almost saw a few upsets. Unfortunately, they did not come to fruition. We saw Alexander Rowe just barely make it through after some issues with issues for Todd Gordon Castlenut on the final lap, but coming to the second round, folks, there is going to be colors on these trucks, so it's not too noticeable. You can see on your screen here, actually, you can see the colors for each driver, but you can see on the back window banner, you will see their colors. For example, Angel Gutierrez will be running a red name banner, while Carl Young will be having a red one too for Lego McLaren, and we'll see that for the matchups. All throughout this round, so we'll kind of see that throughout the race. Only one that might not be noticeable is Emily York Watson, as their truck is blue and light blue, and their tournament color is light blue. But so far this season tournament's been kind of interesting, Nathan. I mean, we started off with the road course, so that was kind of a toss-up. How do you feel about the start? I know you didn't have too much luck with Matthew Burnett having an early wreck at Fuji, which took out one of your drivers early on.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate for Matthew Burnett there, but at least for us and NS Racing, we still got Dawn and Rose, and we're pretty confident for Rose here. But it's definitely interesting if it's selling as a road course now on a short track, and you definitely gotta watch out. But we could see some shakeups again. Of course, we had some last week. Could see some again this week, and we just gotta see if how it all goes down ultimately for Talladega next week.
Yeah, and speaking of Dorn, I mean, Dorn has a pretty favorable matchup for being the lower seed coming into this one because he is a 15th seed. He is facing Alfred, who is a second seed. But Alfred, I mean, he was fastest in practice on Wednesday, but I mean, did not have a great qualify session is starting behind. Got a little bit lucky at Fuji Speedway that Hallie Anderson Jr. had some issues as well, but he did not start well from that one. Had to kind of carve his way forward. Once again this week, he's going to have to try to do that. Alexander Rowe. Avery Alfred has won 2 out of the 3 short tracks I think we've had so far, so he does kind of have that luck, but I think for your driver, Rogaldorn, he does kind of have the favorable matchup coming into this week, but that is the in-season tournament coming into this race, folks. Like Nathan said, we head to Talladega next week, which if we've seen anything, Talladega is even more chaotic than what we might see in these first 2 races. So the season tournament does raise the stakes quite a bit. But as we shift our focus to the point standings, Angel Goodyear still maintains lead, although this lead is a little bit bigger than last week. Like we just mentioned, Avery Alfred has been struggling these past 2 weeks. That lead went all the way from 2 points to now 19, and now Aaron Abel is now closing in on Alfred. So, Nathan, do you think there might be something to worry about if you're this 42 team?
Maybe, I don't know how much that team of Ralph really was focusing on the roll course of Fuji last week. Now we're kind of back to the bread and butter of these short tracks and speedways on the schedule. So I think today will be the true test on if things change, or if it doesn't, then that could be a little bit of a early mid-season switch for that Avery Alpha team that's been very strong to start this season.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you that I mean it is something to watch out for. Even if they do turn it around this week, it is something to look forward to when we come to the chase when the stakes are raised high. Because you can't argue, a lot of guys in this field are raising the stakes even for the season tournament. $1 million on the line. A lot of people are going to want that money, but with the stakes rising, the 42 kind of drifting down a little bit. But I think he does get back a little bit this week. You know, it's going to be a tough ride here at Pikes Peak, but we've seen a lot of drivers drive their way forward so far this season. But as we get further into the standings, we have your driver Caleb Rose there in 6th, right behind Matthew Hubert. Those two have been very solid so far. Rose did have a little bit of a rough weekend at Fuji, but um, I think he can turn around this week. And moving forward, of course, we have Ronnie Halger, who won last week. Halger is heating up, and I want to know your thoughts on Halger, because Halger, I mean, ever since he had his injury at Auto Club, this man has not finished out the top 10, and I believe he's gotten 2 race wins. One was at IRP, and one was at Fuji, of course, last week. And then this 83 also got the win when he wasn't even in the truck at Coda. So, I mean, this 83 team looks like they can do it almost anywhere.
Absolutely. Ronnie Alga's hitting on all strides right now, and I'm not too surprised about it with the driver that is kind of over the helm of that driver of Ronnie Alga. And I'm not surprised by the team either with Red Bull Fallout Racing. It's only a matter of time till they would get good, but we gotta see if that continues. But based off of practice, it could continue for that 83 team.
Yeah, definitely fastest in practice. And like you said, Leonard Kochmer, kind of the mentor of Ronnie Halger, so he definitely gives him a lot of tips. And yeah, I mean, I was a little bit worried about this 83 to start off the season because, I mean, he was not running too hot. Even when he came off injury, he did not qualify too well, but he was able to turn it around almost immediately. And then, as we're not going to talk too much about the standings here this afternoon here, folks, but as we get into your bubble here, we can see it is Patrick Raven, Patrick Nolan here, James Daniels even in here at 12th. He gained 2 spots from last week. Well, of course, we saw Matthew Burnett tank after his early issues, and Chris Martins as well. So Martins and Burnett do fall out, but I mean, Martins has looked very solid for Bow Racing so far. Of course, there has been a little bit of drama throughout the garage the last 2 weeks with the shifting from Lego McLaren to Bow Racing. We've seen Nick Mahold, of course, go over to the 80 for this week, and Ryan Osborne go over to the 92. So there might be a lot of outside critics, but looking at this bubble here, Nathan, I mean, who do you think could possibly shift our way forward after today's race? I know we got guys like Brandon Haynes, Caden Arcady, Kyler Sustre, Carl Young, I mean, even your driver, Raul Goldorn, they're all sitting on the outside, but this is a perfect race to take that opportunity to go forward.
It absolutely can be. And I like some of those drivers around the bubble. I like some of the drivers that are in the bubble right now, but I definitely got to mention Bennett. I think he's a sleeper on and on, and I'm glad that he's doing a pretty solid job with this opportunity. Local Thorn, we know of how the local can be, but Chris Mullins, kind of Susfly, Haynes, there's gonna be some good drivers that don't make it into the top of the standings for the chase, and it's still somewhat early on, but you gotta get some momentum in the spring and in the summer if you want to make it into the chase.
Yeah, definitely, and it's kinda crazy to feel like we're already talking about the chase. We feel like we just started the season. But yeah, that is our points outlook coming in to this race here, folks, and we're not gonna waste too much more of your time. Nathan, coming into this race, who is your driver to look out for in your potential race pick to win?
Well, I'm gonna go with my two drivers here. I'm gonna go with a driver that was up there in practice, and I'm gonna go with one of my picks. He doesn't really qualify the best here, but I think he could turn around. One of my drivers is gonna be Matthew Burnett in the number 97. I just feel like today could be good. He was third fastest in practice. Those 11th here today on the inside lane is going to be key at the start. So I think Burnett could be a strong showing here. And I got to go with one of the drivers up towards the front here. I'm going to go Juan Halligan that we were talking about. He is on a great start to his season. He's gaining more momentum as the season goes on. And he's just outside of the he's within the bubble. He's a ninth, and he keeps on getting better and better. So those are my two picks of Burnett and Halligan here in this one.
Yeah, so and those are two good very picks at that. And for my two picks, I'm going to go a little bit different here. I know some people haven't seen him up here too much this season, but we do have William Ayers up here in the 30 and fourth. William Ayers, I mean, arguably was the best short track racer last season. Has not gotten off to the start he's wanted for Anjado so far this season, but he is going to be one of my drivers to look out for coming into this race this afternoon. This 30 William Ayers, I mean, I feel like he's just there. I mean, starting on the outside, that's a little tricky. I know Chevy has not had the start to the season they wanted, but I feel like Ayers might finally get over the hump, might finally give Anjado some luck. I mean, they've had so many mechanical issues. They could have won IRP. They could have taken it from Ronnie Halger. The 03 of Anjak, of course, that was the other truck that was for Anjado, but they just had so much bad luck. But qualifying fourth here today, I am really confident for this number 30 team. Then for my other drivers to look out for, I'm going to go with Carson Miller. I mean, Carson Miller has some pretty bad luck here. Miller, of course, races for Vision Motorsports, very solid, but we saw that IRP was the bridesmaid the whole race, no matter who was leading. He's just so consistently just up there, but hasn't quite been able to get there into victory lane. But I think it could possibly change here at Pikes Peak. We're back in the States. I think Miller could be feeling good. I think he can finally stop playing bridesmaid. That sounds kind of bad, but just stop playing bridesmaid to all these other drivers and finally get that first career win. He almost won his first start at Watkins Glen last season, but I'm really looking forward to seeing what this 23 can do here this afternoon at Pikes Peak. But with no further ado, folks, let's get these trucks off rolling. We'll take a look at your starting lineup for the Great Wolf Lodge 300 here at Pikes Peak. And as these trucks get ready to roll off here this afternoon at Pikes Peak, we'll take a look at your starting lineup here. The first 5 rows. In row 1 is the 43 of Angel Gutierrez and the 82 of Ricky LaFleur. Row 2 is 83 of Ronnie Halker and the 30 of William Ayers. Row 3 is Aaron Abel and the 23 Carson Miller. Row 4 is Matthias Bento for Haynes Racing and the 99 of Rocco Dorn. And row 5, rounding out your top 10 here this evening, is Caleb Rose and the 92 of Nick Mahold. Nathan, here we go. It is finally time to go racing here. Who is your official pick to win here at Pikes Peak?
My official pick, I like the poster, the 43, to get the job done here, driven by none other than Angel Gutierrez.
Alrighty, here we go, coming to the green flag, and here we go. The green flag is underway here at Pikes Peak. And as they make their way through, boy oh boy, that was a quick pace lap. I didn't even get my pick to win. I'm going to go with the 30 of William Ayers, but already as we make our way through into lap number 2, Ronnie Halger makes a 3-wide move off the start, and now he is in the lead, and back behind him, Aaron Abel's looking to make a move on his teammate Angel Gutierrez.
And this is going to be a very hectic start here at Pikes Peak, and you can just tell this track is wide enough for 3 wide, and we are seeing a bunch of 3 wide already behind the top 5, top 7. They were 3 wide, 4 rows deep at the moment last time by, but they've calmed it down, and here we go, and April, and the number 41 going for the race lead. Owner, driver for quite possibly maybe the best team in the series early in 2026. Got the 43 right behind him. And we got a couple of A2 cars, a couple of Repo trucks here. And kind of like what we've been thinking about all season long, it's been a lot of Fallout and Racing Motorsports, and they are 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, and there's 3 wide right behind him. Sorry for the pop-up there for a second, folks. Halger moves back into the lead, but back behind, they are duking it out. Chris Martins was in there for a second, but now Peter Onjak was being split 3 wide. James Daniel making his way to the inside of that 03. Matthew Huber trying to make his way through as well. As Brandon Haynes, a lot of drivers on the bubble back here, but as you make your way through, like you said, Aaron Abel fighting very hard, but I mean, they're keeping up so far. Ricky LaFleur in third, Raul Godor now making a move on Carson Miller for it looks to be 5th here, so Dorn's going to try to get that move, and Dorn is definitely a threat. I've said it all the time. I mean, we saw him win at Atlanta. He got your team's first win, but he is very good at these short tracks as well. He is not a sleeper at all.
Absolutely. There's a reason why I signed on Local Dorn. I know what Local can do in some other lanes type series, and I'm glad to have Local on our team, and definitely I think it's going to get some momentum eventually. And these two are still going at it for the second, for the race lead here with Aaron Abel in the 41, and then the number 83 of Ronnie Halger. But I think Abel should get down the inside lane. This is why I was talking about this being a flat, short flat, tight flat. But you can run 2 or 3 different lanes here, and it's one of my underrated tracks on the honor. And might have to see if Halger can get a crossover move here. But these 4 are starting to pull away. Might have to watch out for a couple of these, maybe MS Racing trucks of Local Dorn and Matthew Burnett if they can close back up to these top 4. Here comes Halger, might be able to get a crossover move.
Oh, there he goes there.
And he does here entering turn 1.
Oh my gosh, Ronnie Halger and Aaron Abel going at it so far to start off this race, and yeah, Matthew Burnett's already up about 3 spots from the start, but now Ronnie Halger back into the lead, but him and Aaron Abel are going at it, and like you said, now Matthew Burnett's looking for another one back here, trying to get past this 37 of Bento, who's having an amazing run for Haynes Racing. I said it briefly, but Chevy has had a very bad start to the season. The only manufacturer to not register a win so far is Burnett, trying to get a nose underneath them, as there goes those 2 back up again, but there goes Caleb Rose to the inside.
I got the third NS Racing driver, we've not set his name yet. Caleb Rose on the move, and these 4s are so strong. We kind of got a big 3 for 4 this season of NS Racing, Level, Fallout, and Racing Motorsports, and this has been fantastic. This is the reason why I wanted to call this race with you, Charlie, because this is fantastic stuff all over the place here. And how about how they're trying the second lane on the outside? Might be able to, but the longer these drivers battle for the top spot, that will allow the NS Racing cars to close back in, allow the 23 to close back in, allow the 37 and 84 to just gain on the top 4. And now it's 83 of Halger out front.
Yeah, Halger back out front. These guys go at it every time we look away, but like you were saying, your trucks are moving through pretty fast. Bento's holding on pretty well, but like I was saying with them, Bento has been showing a lot of practice pace ever since he got into this 37. This is the first time it's shown up in qualifying. I'd say he's holding up pretty well so far, but another big mover in this race. Don't look now, but it is the man that has won 2 short tracks so far this season. Here comes that 42 of Avery Alford. Did not have the greatest start. Is second in points so far, but didn't have a great qualifying. Was pretty fast in practice, but now he is all the way up here now, Nathan, and he's starting to make his way through.
It's only a matter of time. It's another Racing Motorsports truck. We know that we will see this
Oh, he's gonna force the issue
42.
there.
Oh boy!
Oh gosh,
And
they're
now
gonna push it close.
that
Oh,
is gonna be very tight. And how about an April and this race team? I know it's kind of a bad starting spot for the 42, but on the move as I might have misjudged the Racing Multiples because of actually Toyota. My bad there. And speaking of was Ford, now we'll go Dawn on the inside, and this is what I'm talking about. The top four were battling so hard, and Local's just been able to be going at his own pace here, and we gotta watch out for Cosmo as well. I really like Cosmo here against Strong in that 23 for Vision. That's a good team, I know, and a good owner just in general of Master
oh,
He
whoa,
would
there's contact.
contact for fourth between Dawn and Abel.
Dorn's
Or
telling him.
Gutierrez, rather.
Dorn's telling Gutierrez not gonna have that fly here. He's got places to go, and he's moving up quite quickly as well. Dorn did start 8th in this race, already gonna be up to 4th now, and he's not gonna try to chase down this 82 rookie Lafleur. Meanwhile, Alexander Rowe was able to get past that 37 of Bento, so now he's starting to move his way through, as well as the Irishman of Patrick Nolan. Holy cow, this 42 Valford got through a bunch of trucks when we looked away. As now there goes Martin's looking to the inside of Osborne, who's in his first start. Of course, the name banner is not updated on that truck yet, but he looks to the inside. He's going to get past that 92, but yeah, Alfred's making his way through pretty quickly. Nolan's little look to the inside of Bento. Bento might be a little bit of a sitting duck here, but we'll see how long he can hold on to. But Rowe is starting to make his way through, and Rowe is just a challenger at almost every track it seems. He is very strong, but man, this 37's looking like easy pickings right now as everybody's trying to look to the inside of him.
Yeah, we've been talking about the 37 always long having a great start of Mateus Bento, but maybe he has a short one truck here today. And I don't really know how bad the fall off is here at this version of Pikes Peak. I know with the older version is very dramatic, but I think we are starting to see some of these cars have a short one versus a long one truck almost halfway through this field one. And we are definitely seeing that with guys like Local Dawn, Alexander Lowe, Avery Alfred, and we keep on seeing some of these guys drop back like Bento, but this has been the battle on the racetrack. It's the 41 and 83. There's been battles all over the place, but it has been April and Halker for the majority of this race.
And now Abel swipes into the lead, and here comes Lafleur trying to look to the inside of his teammate. Nathan, this is an in-season tournament battle. I don't know why 83's banner is not green for some reason, but these two are facing each other in the in-season tournament, and teammates being teammates in the garage and both fighting for $1 million. They might have a little extra oomph in their step trying to pass each other here this afternoon now, and we're about to get 20 laps into this one. Like I said earlier in this pre-race broadcast, this is going to be quite a long run into the pit stop, so definitely the pace fall off is going to be something to watch out for, because it's all based off fuel. It's not too much tires, so it's how good can you conserve your tires so that you can stay consistent throughout this run. But right now, this 82 is all over the back bumper of his teammate here, trying to find somewhere to go.
And if one of these two, you gotta realize, hey, we're going after it in the in-season challenge, but you also gotta be very careful to not take each other out and make it where we both get a bad points day, because regardless of how the bracket goes, if they get a good one here, that will benefit both of them. And they also gotta think, if they go side by side, that will allow maybe some of these guys to close back in, like the 43, 99, 23, 98, and the 7 of Low. But we gotta see how it all goes down. 20 laps in, about less than 20 to go until pit stops, and I'm glad that this has been clean, because this has been a heck of a lot of fun so far, and I'm loving this battle between the top two, but great one from the 43 on the move, and shout out to Alexander. That's someone that I'm not surprised is on the move on the long one. He's someone that's very good with these rain series, and he is on the move inside the top 10.
There goes Miller now. Miller to the inside of Dorn there, talking about his teammate. He is going to swipe to the inside like I said, Miller was very good at RIP earlier this year. Finished second in that race, or yeah, finished second. Almost could have won. Ronnie Hauger tapped the wall in that final lap. If there was one more lap, I think this 23 would have gotten them. But yeah, Miller very solid at these short tracks, or I guess short ovals now. But as he is battling with this 99, here comes Caleb Rose as well, entering his name in here. Rose might look to catch him napping here if he does not get past this 99 of Dorn. Rowe and Rose are both looking to capitalize on these two sleeping, both their teammates.
And that's a little bit of an interesting dynamic here. And you saw last time by Local got a great one off of turn 2. We gotta see if that 99 can do it again.
Does
it looks
it
like
again?
that is gonna
Wow.
look out. So Vogel's found someone on that top side to defend, and that's what I was talking about in the pre-race, and we've seen it always long. There's easily 2 lanes here at this racetrack at Pikes Peak that work. It's just up to what truck you have, and it looks like Caleb does not have a outside lane truck, as he's gonna probably get passed by the 23 and the 7. Or maybe not.
He's holding it pretty well so far, honestly.
One.
He is
Yeah,
putting
still
up quite
side
a
by
fight.
side.
Yeah, I mean,
Still side by side.
he's still side by side. He is putting up quite the fight with these two. That 23's in the final clear, but Rose is still hanging in there with Rowe. These two are quite equal, I would say, on pace so far. Back behind, Avery Alfred is getting past that 27 Matthew Hubert to flip by, so Alfred's going to break his way into this top 10 actually, so he does get into the top 10. So he's now made his way through. Back behind, everybody else kind of settling in, kind of a little bit of a fall off starting between some guys. William Ayers, my personal pick to win, not running too well. He's kind of dropped back all the way to 20th here with his Anjado teammate ahead of him. But these two back here, these two teammates, Sustre and Raven, they did not have great qualifying efforts for how fast they've been so far this season. But these two are duking it out a little bit. But there was a lead change, but these two are duking out pretty hard. But they're going to keep it going, but we got to catch back up front because Aaron Abel now, I think, just took the lead as Ronnie Hauger is now getting challenged by a first lap traffic because they actually, it's the 96 of Adrian Gale, and I think helped propel that 41 of Aaron Abel to the lead. I'm pretty sure it was Ronnie Hauger for a minute, but now the 96 of Gale holds him up.
I'm not sure if that's lap traffic naturally or if something happened to the 96 there.
Yeah,
I think
he's 4 laps off the pace.
Oh yeah, something definitely happened.
4 laps off the pace.
Tough
so
wait.
I will have to see here real quick. It was fuel system off the start. I mean, everybody rolled off fine, so that 96 must have had something happen off the start. I don't know if it couldn't get fired, but I mean, he's passing the 82 Ricky LaFleur here, so this is interesting. So I mean,
tires.
And first, he's got fresh tires, and that's actually something to watch out for. As we watch this 96, if he does have fresher tires than these guys, if you're one of these strategists on the top of these boxes, you're seeing the way this 96 is about to get past this 83 possibly as well. When do you want to come down, and do you want to make a short pit, or do you want to go longer? Gale's going to force the issue.
If Gale, I know you are trying to somehow get one of the 4 laps back, but you gotta be careful with the lap with the race leaders here, as we're catching up to another lap truck. This one might be natural. That's the 01 machine about to get put a lap down by Unable here.
Yeah, Alexi Herman, unfortunately for Atamapato Racing. Oh, wow, that looked closer. Overreaction by me, but that looked very close for a second. That 01. It's going very slow.
I don't know if it is natural. Something might be happening for that 01, and we are under caution.
Yes, a caution is out here at Pikes Peak as I am flipping the wrong way. But let's see if we can find where it was. The caution is. Oh no!
Oh no!
Matthew Burnett. I don't want to assume. Oh, is he engine failure maybe?
That might be a separate incident. I think there might have been a wreck in 24, and he might have had a separate problem.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can see tire marks right there. Tire marks. First caution forever, and it's tire marks here. And you can see these guys immediately going to all dip down pit road, so we don't even get to see the replay here first. As everybody going to make their way around to come down here on pit road. But a first caution, we have to assume it's that 97 of Matthew Burnett, your own driver, which you hate to see. And Abel's going to have a huge jump coming into pit road here.
A great jump from unable there, and that's exactly what he wanted to kind of have happen. And he is going to make up to his pit crew to try and get him out to a big enough gap on pit lane. And I would assume these guys would be able to make it here. So probably just 4 tires, fuel, make some adjustments, and go out for the end of this race.
Yeah, as you can see, folks, I finally did get some pit boxes in, not all, but yeah, we'll see how this race off pit road goes. We'll kind of watch this 43 pit box here and see what he does here. Like you said, it's going to be kind of a fuel run, so they're going to kind of top off on these fresh tires, but definitely looks like it's going to be Ford tires and fuel possibly. A very quick stop for 41. Here comes Hauger now. Dorn's going to come out third. Oh, Rove edges out Rose. And wow, that 43, not a good stop.
Not a good stop from the 43, and that's going to be maybe very crucial for him. And now this is going to get really interesting.
Yeah, before we get to replay, 33 Carl Young. We know Lego McLaren has the fastest pit crew of all the teams, but man, oh man, he jumped all the way up here. But as we see the race off pit road here, wow, he jumped a lot of spots. But let's go check out what brought out our first caution here at Pikes Peak International Raceway. We kind of got an idea with these two right here, but let's go check it out. So we're here with the replay here, folks. You can see the 45 gets tagged behind by the 57 here of Caden Walsh, folks. And what's your thoughts on this one, Nathan?
I think he misjudged it. I think the 57 misjudged it into the 45 there, and that's kind of a short track incident, I think, on a hybrid short track. So, very tough wait for Sarah Taylor there in the 45.
Yeah, Caden Walsh just tags the back of him here, and I mean, see slow-mo replay on your screen, but yeah, I don't know. It does look, honestly, it does look like it was just short track racing. Because, I mean, even early on, I mean, if you're going to turn somebody around, you're not going to go to their outside, I guess their outside bumper. I mean, well, the right side of their bumper at this type of track to do that. So, I honestly think that 45, maybe just the speed difference between those two, and maybe the 57 just closed up way too much, and they just clipped the back of the 45. But, yeah, I mean, Matthew Burnett had some issues as well. We'll have to see further, but yeah, that is the cause for the first caution in quite a few weeks here. 45 Sarah Taylor can attack from behind. Looks like a racing incident, but let's catch back up with the live racing action.
If we didn't have a caution for that, Burnett would have caused the caution.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to Burnett.
Yeah, let's see. What tire. And Gale. Yeah, to Gale's fuel system. Okay. All right, let's continue this. Let me catch up to this 97 real quick, and then we'll get back wherever he is. All right, so we are back here live at Pikes Peak, and they did find the source of the issue for this 97. It was a tire that went down, so it makes sense for why he was running so slow. But, I mean, that's really unfortunate for that 97 team. They had a lot of pace, but might have caught into too much of the marbles or something, and it just, the tire went away.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate, but luckily a caution did happen when it happened, so he's not going to be several laps down. But still a very tough wait for that 97 and tough wait for the 96 earlier as well, having a fuel system, and that's just Pikes Peak sometimes. This is kind of a one down parts kind of short track at times.
Yeah, indeed. And we'll see when we come to restart here. Let's get this back up on screen, why don't we? It is going to be lap number 36, so they're all going to make their way around these two here real quick. It's a short track, so hopefully they could manage to do it. You know, we kind of seen some chaos like that, so we'll see if they can figure it out, but we got most of them through. But, yeah, you hate to see it for that 97 of Burnett. But as we come to the restart here, they're all slowly making their way through. This might be a little chaotic here, Nathan, as we've seen these short tracks and these double file restarts. But it will be the 41 of Aaron Abel leading us back to green. There was something to mention that 33 of Carl Young had quite the fast stop here. We'll see what that 33 team has, but here we go for the restart as hopefully the rest of them are catching up behind. They are not. Okay.
Not.
This is going to be interesting. There we go. They're finally catching up to speed. But, yeah, this is going to be the 41 Aaron Abel lead us back to green. These two have been duking it out so far. We are halfway into this one, Nathan. And here we go, back going green. Aaron Abel leading us back to green after the first caution of the evening.
Looks like everyone did mostly catch up in
Oh,
time, and here we go. You mentioned the 33 got a great pit stop and got a great launch on the restart. How about that for the 33 machine? Carl Young and the driver of that car, and he is on the move, and here comes the other two S Racing machines on the move as well. This is going to be very competitive, and then we got some new faces up here. Rose gained some spots. Dawn gained some spots, and I'm telling you, we cannot count Alexander Rowe. His team has been strong this year, but so has Alexander Rowe himself. So we cannot count Alexander Rowe in number 7
there
on
he
the
goes
move
now.
before pit stops, and now he's on the move again after pit stops.
Man, oh man, that's caution tying everything up. Rose making his way through here, but no, that 83 of Halker checks up. Here comes that 7 in a row, looking to the inside. But like you said, lots of guys making aggressive moves here. This is a lot of action. We got to get a little bit of a wide angle here. You see everybody battling 3 wide behind Burnett for a second on the inside of Hubert and them, but Rowe running a little bit wide there, but he is going to try to get the pass off on Halker, but Halker is working back to the outside, and I don't know, it might be something with these Fords of having that great exit here at Pikes Peak, but these two still going at it. Both, ironically, the two drivers that have both had injuries so far this season, but both are faring pretty well.
And so far, they're doing a great job, and maybe I picked one. Maybe I should pick Alexander Rowe, knowing what he can do in some other series, but maybe I also picked one because Caleb Rose, he was like he's the fastest racing truck all of a sudden. I thought it was Local Dawn, but Caleb got a great pit stop and he's all over the back bumper of the number 82. We got a 5 truck breakaway, and these guys know that they got to pit again, and they are definitely going at it here at Pikes Peak. We can't count this 42 though. How about Avery Alfred on the move? As he's been, really good at these short tracks this year, but we've not seen him always run until late in this one.
And guess who that is? That's his in-season tournament rival, or I guess a competitor. It is Raul Dorn. These two both battling to move on to the next round. And if you're Dorn, you were hoping that 42 did not make his way through. But Avery Alfred is up here. He won at Iowa, and just drew a blank on the other race he won, but he's won 2 short tracks so far this season now. I said he could possibly drive his way through here, and it looks like he might just be looking to do that there, as now he's trying to get past Hubert, but he's got to get past that 99 of Dorn as well. And I mean, this 84 of Nolan is trailing him pretty well, while we have Young still settling back here. Look at Chris Martins as well, making his way through here. I mean, this is the last truck of Burnett, but I mean, so far some guys having some late race resurgences. This 81 as well coming through here, but so far some guys settling in now, as now that 41 starting to build a little bit of gap. But here comes Burnett, Hubert now to the inside of Dorn possibly.
Hubert doing a great job in the number 27. Of course, his own team has been pretty good. Got the 23 up there most of the day, but he's fallen back a little bit. And I know we've seen a lot of comers and goes here today within the top 10, but there's been really 2 drives that's been up front always long, and that's the 41 and the 83. Ronnie Alger and the 83 and Abel in the 41. A great one on the first 30-ish laps, and a great pit stop, and he's just gotten a great launch again. But I gotta like the for Alexander Rowe. I'm liking Alexander Rowe. I'm liking how good. I'm maybe liking Caleb if he can get past the 82 as well, but I think we got some of those stronger trucks here today up towards the front with 20 laps to go.
Definitely, as Hubert makes a pass, looking to make a pass on Rose behind, but I don't know, this 7's starting to find something here. I kind of noticed there, you can hear me in the background, but he's running this middle air. Oh, that did not work that time, but when he's coming out this exit out of turn 2, he runs the middle line. It works really well, but he slips up there. Now the 83 of Halger looking back for second, but if Rowe keeps up running that kind of lower middle line, it's something different. I don't know how to explain it, but it gave him quite a good run on that 41 for a second, but now he slipped up out of this, slipped up last time around here as we have 20 to go, less than 20 to go now. But now these two are duking it out, and now if you're unable, you like to see this, as now this is going to allow him to start to drive away just a little bit.
Absolutely, and of course, Abel, he might have been sweating a little bit when Alexander got to the back bumper of that 41 truck, but now Halga is back up into the second place spot. And we've definitely, I think I'm noticing this one, that now that we got some rubber, the outside lane is definitely working a little bit more for some of these trucks. But why when I say that, a 42 of Alpha is going to get by on the inside. And it's been a fun one here at Pikes because I expected it to be. And these two keep on battling low and Halga. They're trying to figure out, hey, I want to challenge Abel. No, I want to challenge Abel. Well, someone has to figure out because these guys are running out of time.
Yeah, they're certainly duking it out now. Rose gonna try to chase down this 41. I don't know if I'm this 41. I don't know. I don't think you want to get too comfortable in the lead. You got the clean air, but these guys are getting very close, and I think honestly that somebody might just catch him napping here soon. But this 82 LaFleur moves in second, but here comes Caleb Rose as well. But these guys are starting to close into each other. This gap is definitely decreasing as this top 5 is closing in very tight on each other.
And you gotta think who got a long one, a semi-long one truck. It's still about 30, 28 laps when we went back to wing or so. So you gotta have a long truck. And
oh, she's trying
here we
something
go,
new here.
The outside lane, multi-proof Peak. He's gonna get
a run too. There he goes. No. Oh wait, does he? Does he force the issue? No.
Thought Bella knows that there's still about 15 laps to go, so they got plenty of time to make that move.
I mean, you gotta respect the guts of Alexander Rowe. This inside line's been very strong. That outside a little teeter-tottery, but he tried something new there. Got a great run, and I mean, that was great driving there. Rowe, of course, this isn't second season, but he did only run half of last season, so this is still technically a little bit of a rookie campaign, but that's a veteran move there. He set up that switchback. Didn't quite work, but everybody's closing in on this 41 of Aaron Abel right now.
Absolutely, and we got guys like Alexander Rowe. We got the 82 that we cannot count of LaFleur. If something gets a little bit chaotic here, this might open up the door for Rowe to get a good one on the outside.
Yeah, I was going to say, that might have favored Rowe a little bit there running that outside.
Yeah, Rowe's definitely found something. Versus local doing it, I think local... Well, Alexander Rowe might have been told his outside lane is an option and it's working for him.
And we're coming up close on 10 more to go. Just now 12 now at the line, but LaFleur is here, but I don't know. If you're a LaFleur, you don't want to try this inside because this 7 is clearly faster on the outside. I don't know why he's not trying it more, but every time LaFleur looks, this 7 gets a great run, and here we go. He is going to use that outside, going to use that middle-ish lane here a little bit, not too much to the outside there. Actually going to slow up a little bit here. And this 82 is going to get a look off the exit. But here comes that 98 of Rose as well, and 27 of Matthew Hubert.
I think the outside lane's a little bit better in 1 and 2 than 3 and 4. Rowe still inside of A3. Rowe slips up a little bit. A bad 1 and 2, and he might be in some trouble right here. He might get passed by the A2 and 98 here in 3 and 4.
Yeah, that 98 of Caleb Rose making his way in here. Caleb Rose still searching for that first career win, but he's definitely got a great shot. But Rowe now stuck on that outside. He's got Ronnie Howard right behind him. If you're unable, you like to see this. Officially 10 more to go in this race, and these guys are battling. But now Ricky LaFleur's got his sights set ahead on this 41. And look who's up here as well, Nathan. Avery Alford now saying, "Hey guys, let me get in on this action."
If you told me that this 42 of Avery Alford was going to be up here, only after starting in the back, I would have said that you were lying. But what a job from this 42 machine, as he is in the midst to get a top 7 position for him. Rose slips up, and here comes Rose. That's kind of a tongue twister, Rowe and Rose. But meanwhile, look at the race lead. LaFleur all over the back bumper of Aaron Abel. This is not over. There's less than 10 laps to go at Pikes.
Oh, and there he goes. Ricky LaFleur to the inside of Aaron Abel now looking for the lead. LaFleur got that win at Maui International Raceway, I believe it was. And now he is looking to get past Aaron Abel, and there he goes. I said Abel might get caught napping here, and yes, he does now, as now Ricky LaFleur moves into the lead. Now it's going to be Aaron Abel now trying to put on the chase with just a few more laps to go in this race. Does Ricky LaFleur complete the heist?
And if we're out saying, well, you gotta think, what
Oh,
do you
Rowe's
want to
gonna
do?
get a shot here.
Oh, he's gonna have a shot,
That
not
41 is
quite.
going slow. And we have lap
I
traffic
mean,
up ahead.
oh boy, we got lap traffic up ahead. That's gonna change things. Alexander was really trying some kind of interesting maneuver here in 3 and 4. Here comes out Matthew Hubert out of in the number 27.
I don't know what happened to this 41 truck. There's something going wrong, I feel like. That 41's going super slow, but Rowe is not able to get past them. And if you're Ricky LaFleur, you're telling this 41 to keep it up because clearly you're not faster than some of these guys in this top 5. But if you're going to be a roadblock for me, so be it. But speaking of roadblocks, this 01 Alexi Herman, who's been off pace all race so far, coming to, I believe, 5 to go at the line. And we're going to have some company up here up front with just a few more laps to go in this race. As there goes Hubert to the inside of Alexander Rowe.
And for Rowe, this is kind of a double-edged sword for him because he's having his teammate go by, but he's also
Aaron Abel
flying.
side drafting right on the back.
Boy. And, you know, for Rowe, he's trying to help his own team and driver of LaFleur maybe get this race win. So kind of a double-edged sword there. And you gotta see what ends up happening. Is not over, and that's gonna hurt Rowe in that 7. He might get
that might be all she wrote for that 7 team. Yeah, Rowe closed way up close on the back bumper of that 2070 Hubert, but Rowe gonna send it around the outside. There goes Alexander Rowe. He says no more time to waste in this one. I got places to be, and these two are catching up to Ricky LaFleur up here.
Yeah, I don't know what has happened to the 01. Nothing from race control, so just a off day for that 01 machine.
And now, as we're coming to 2 more to go at the line, it is Aaron Abel trying to chase down this 82. Ricky LaFleur, Alexander Rowe in the picture as well. Does Hubert possibly get past this 41 and make a shot? But right now, Nathan, I think this 82 might just have it in the bag. He clearly conserved all his stuff, and now he is trying to drive away with this one.
And this wouldn't be a complete steal of a win. He's been top 3, top 5 all day long. Hauser was the one bound for the lead, but LaFleur was in the top 5 all day.
And now here we go. It's going to be one more time around. Does Aaron Abel have anything left? I don't think he quite does. Ricky LaFleur is going to see the white flag here at Pikes Peak. Takes the lead with just a couple more to go, and now he has his sights set on the checkered flag as nobody looks like they have the pace for him. And I don't think Hubert's going to get past this 41 of Aaron Abel. What could have been for the Vision Motorsports, we will likely never know, but Ricky LaFleur, as he comes through, is going to win at Pikes Peak. Man, oh man, what a win for that 82 team, Nathan. And I mean, I definitely think he conserved his stuff the way he just ran that final 10 laps.
Absolutely, that was a veteran drive from the rookie driver. Saved his tires all day in both runs. He was the top 5 truck all day. But at the end, when it mattered most, Ronnie Hauser's teammate, rather, of LaFleur gets the job done. A dominating day from Aaron Abel, a great points day, but what could have been for that 41 team, and then what could have been if it was a little bit longer for guys like Rowe and Hubert as well. What a fun multi-goof race that was at Pikes Peak. I love this race, Charlie, and that was one heck of a race here today.
Yeah, that was a great one. We'll get into your finish results in a second, but yeah, like you were saying, what could have been for some of those drivers? I'm especially intrigued by that 7 and 27. I do think something happened to that 41. I'm not quite sure. We might hear a little bit more post-race if we get to talk to Aaron Abel in interviews later this week. But I definitely think something happened to that truck because that fall-off was really odd. To be in clean air, he didn't have to push too much, but maybe he saw them battling and he tried to set his marks a little bit and he burned out his tires or something. But he definitely held up that 27 and 7 of Alexander Rowe at the 27 of Matthew Hubert and 7 of Alexander Rowe at the end. But I mean, I guess we honestly never know what really happened to that 41. But that was an insane race from Pikes Peak. Lots of passing. But let's go check out our race results from this race here at Pikes Peak as we look ahead to next week at Talladega. So as we get into your results from this evening's race here at Pikes Peak, a very thrilling one, lots of passes. That might have been one of the most passing races we've seen so far this season. So definitely breath of fresh air. We could have seen it in the Twitter early on this week. We talked about how some of these teams felt a little unsure about this weekend with all the the jet lag and all that coming in. The field kind of felt like it was under an umbrella, and it definitely showed as this was a close race by a lot of drivers. But we'll start from the bottom here. Unfortunately for Tanner Calvert, unfortunately, had a piston go out. Had it been later in the race because he definitely was. He was running up for a while, but it definitely happened at some point that we didn't see. Of course, Adrian Gale was off. Well, it's sort of off pace. We saw him making passes on fresh tires. But Alexi Herman for sure was off pace. Matthew Burnett, of course, had that tire go down right when the caution came out. So he just got completely caught a lap down because under caution he was just stuck there. But um, as we look through this order here, the names that pop out, William Ayers drops all the way down. He drops 20 spots. Kyler Sustre didn't have a great day, but I mean, this was a very fun race here, Nathan, and lots of solid performance by guys here. And of course, the headline by Ricky LaFleur definitely conserved his stuff towards the end, and it definitely paid off. But what names pop out to you in this top 15 here?
Well, one of them has to be Avery Alford. He didn't qualify good or whatsoever here and worked his way up through the field. Carl Young, he popped up after pit stops and still managed to get a solid top 15 result. Patrick Nolan quietly got a solid one. Customer kind of faded. Of course, Hubert, don't know where he came from late. And just a lot of fun here at Pikes Peak. And like I told you in the pre-race, once you told me that you wanted me to join you for Pikes Peak, I was like, yes, yes. This is a very fun racetrack, and like I said during the broadcast, I think it's very underrated, and it definitely delivered here today with a lot of passing, and we didn't know who was going to win, with any of the top 5, top 7 at some points
Yeah,
during this
it
one.
was certainly a toss-up, and yeah, like you're saying, honestly, it really was a toss-up between a lot of guys, and it was a very fun race. I really was a breath of fresh air. And yeah, that 2070 Hebert did pop off to me as well as somebody who was like, kind of where did he come from? Hebert qualified all the way back in 12, so not too much out of the realm, but he definitely had to drive his way forward. So as Alexander Rowe, of course, Avery Alford, he went all the way from 22nd to 5th, so he definitely had a very hard-earned day, and kind of shifting a little bit to the in-season tournament here as we're going over those race results. I mean, Angel Gutierrez, awful pit stop, and he really fell off pace. I mean, this 23 team, I mean, they're running well, but I mean, for their standards, they run top 5 almost every single race, but I mean, they're kind of just falling off quite a little bit here, and I mean, they almost got upset by Carl Young. This could have been an upset of the century. Young had a very fast pit stop and finishes 12th, just nearly misses out on moving on. Gutierrez will go on to face Alexander Rowe next round, but that was a potential upset we saw in the in-season tournament. And that's kind of something I'm going to take away from this race. I'm watching these racing motorsports guys because they're all kind of having their own personal struggles. I mean, 41 Aaron Abel, I mean, he's being fine, but Gutierrez starts off hot in the race and then kind of cools off. But it's kind of been on pit road, I feel like, because this has been about the second or third race he's lost a lot of stops, lost a lot of spots on in the pit cycle because we saw it at, I believe it was, I want to say Maui as well 2 weeks ago, where yeah, I want to say he did not finish well at all, and he finished about 19th, which helped thin down the gap, and he lost a lot of pit stops in the pit cycle. So 43 team, they got to lock in on pit road, but 42 Alfred otherwise has to lock in on qualifying. He certainly has the race pace, but looking throughout the rest of these results here, Nathan, I don't think anybody else pops out too much. Um, I, the 36 of Haynes here in 20th. I mean, Matthias Bento 16th. That's pretty solid for them. But I mean, the highest finishing Chevy is Bento in 16th. So like, I mean, actually it's gonna be 38 of Joseph Wood in 14th. But I know you're a Ford team owner, but when you're looking at a manufacturer as such as Chevy, so prestigious, struggling so hard early on in the season, how do you view it? Because they are certainly just not coming off the gates right at all, and it's only one team that's running up here.
Yeah, it's very questioning to say the least because we've got a lot of Fords, we got a lot of Toyotas, and then we don't really have too many Chevys or Rams. But I'm a little bit surprised with so many Chevrolets that have not been running as long as they have been, and it's unfortunate. Like I would have expected more out of Andrade this season, but it's not really been the case at times. And for Chevy, they gotta figure something out because it's still a long way to go. But if you don't figure something out now for the rest of the season, then it's gonna be a long rest of 2026.
Yeah, and yeah, I did expect Anjado to come out out of the gates way firing, and honestly, I mean, I don't know quite what it is with Anjado. I mean, I would say it's sound like a broken record player at this point, but they quite literally have the worst luck out of any team in the series. They had a chance to win it at IRP. Their engine goes out. They were running well a few weeks ago. Both engines go out again. So, and I mean, don't get me wrong, Anjado, they do not have bad reliability at all. Not to spoil ratings for anybody, but they should be the last team that has reliability issues. So, I mean, yeah, it's been just an upward battle for Chevy, and we'll see if Anjada gets something going. But I mean, for the most part, for Chevy, it is concerning because with the addition of manufacturer goals this season as a whole, you do not want to lose out on those points boosts that you do get at the start of next season, and fail to win a race for a 10-week stretch during the season. They've already done it through the first 10 races. They got to redeem themselves. But I mean, it certainly will be something to look out for. But before we get going here, folks, one last thing to look out for: these two swapped rides. One finishes ahead of the other. That'll be something to look out for. We'll probably hear more post race about that, folks. But you guys will see the updated bracket after we go here in a second. But thank you, Nathan, for joining me here in the booth here for Pikes Peak. It certainly was a fun one. Hopefully, we can do this once again later on this season. And yeah, just thank you for joining me in the booth. This was a very fun one.
Absolutely, that was one heck of a race to pop up in the booth for, and I'll definitely be down to do some more in the rest of the year because that was a heck of a lot of fun.
All right, but that will be all from us here this afternoon here at Pikes Peak International Raceway. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. I think we have some Xfinity action early on and later on in real life at Rockingham, and of course we have Nathan's series. You can find AEG and all that. I'm pretty sure there's some races this Saturday, so you guys can all tune into that. So definitely should be a pretty fun weekend. And of course, folks, enjoy your Easter tomorrow and have a blessed day, folks. This will be all from In Our Truck Night in America live here at Pikes Peak International Raceway for race 11. We'll see you all next week for round 3 of the in-season tournament at Talladega.
It's unfortunate. Like, I would have expected more out of Andrade this season, but it's not really been the case at times. And for Chevy, they gotta figure something out because it's still a long way to go. But if you don't figure something out now for the rest of the season, then it's gonna be a long rest of 2026.
Yeah, and yeah, I did expect Anjada to come out of the gates way firing, and honestly, I mean, I don't know quite what it is with Anjada. I mean, I would say it's sound like a broken record player at this point, but they quite literally have the worst luck out of any team in the series. They had a chance to win it at IRP. Their engine goes out. They were running well a few weeks ago. Both engines go out again. So, and I mean, don't get me wrong, Anjada, they do not have bad reliability at all. Not to spoil ratings for anybody, but they should be the last team that has reliability issues. So, I mean, yeah, it's been just an upward battle for Chevy, and we'll see if Anjada gets something going. But I mean, for the most part, for Chevy, it is concerning because with the addition of manufacturer goals this season as a whole, you do not want to lose out on those points boosts that you do get at the start of next season, and fail to win a race for a 10-week stretch during the season. They've already done it through the first 10 races. They got to redeem themselves. But I mean, it certainly will be something to look out for. But before we get going here, folks, one last thing to look out for: these two swapped rides. One finishes ahead of the other. That'll be something to look out for. We'll probably hear more post race about that, folks. But you guys will see the updated bracket after we go here in a second. But thank you, Nathan, for joining me here in the booth here for Pikes Peak. It certainly was a fun one. Hopefully, we can do this once again later on this season. And yeah, just thank you for joining me in the booth. This was a very fun one.
Absolutely, that was one heck of a race to pop up in the booth for, and I'll definitely be down to do some more in the rest of the year because that was a heck of a lot of fun.
All right, but that will be all from us here this afternoon here at Pikes Peak International Raceway. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. I think we have some Xfinity action early on and later on in real life at Rockingham, and of course we have Nathan's series. You can find AEG and all that. I'm pretty sure there's some races this Saturday, so you guys can all tune into that. So definitely should be a pretty fun weekend. And of course, folks, enjoy your Easter tomorrow and have a blessed day, folks. This will be all from In Our Truck Night in America live here at Pikes Peak International Raceway for Race 11. We'll see you all next week for round 3 of the in-season tournament at Talladega.